And then, of course, I can make sure that this is out. All right, there we go. Should be good. I know that we're still in the ads for some people. Uh, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope the day was restful and productive for y'all. I had to stop and make mac and cheese. I was doing some stuff slightly before stream and I got a little sidetracked, but we're here now. But hey, Cosmo. Hey, Cat Wizard. Hi, everybody. Hope the day is restful and productive for y'all, like I was saying before. I'm here. We're here till like 9 o'clock probably, so like another 3 hours, give or take. I have... pardon me. I have no idea how this is going to go because I love Pokemon Crystal, but one of the things that it suffers from... one of the things that it does suffer from, unfortunately, and this is kind of just sort of this is the way that it is. Sometimes you have a situation where you need to get levels, and you don't have that much to pick from. Hey, Squishy. So, one of the things that's going to be a challenge about playing this game mostly is going to be the wow, damn, don't have a lot to work with here, huh? Sort of deal. For example, this is one reason why, as much as I love both the Houndour and the Murkrow that I caught, whether or not I can level them enough to be of any use against Sabrina, the answer is probably no. Not quickly. And really, I should try to, at least in theory, because since this is Gen 2, Psychic types do not have nearly as much coverage against Dark types as they would like. Huh. I'm using the wrong version. Makes sense, but we also understand. Yeah. I guess if I really had to, I could probably do some shenanigans and force a level up. I'd force some level ups on that front to sort of like cut that back some. But, you know. Give me 1 second. I need to figure stuff real quick before we get back into it. Yeah, sometimes stream gets so complicated with grinding. It happens. Yeah, I would like to reduce as much of that. I would like to reduce that as much as I can. But all the same. Once. Almost. Okay, cool. Yeah, how's everybody else doing? Hopefully, well. I know that we can't hear it. Give me a second. I got it. We're just gonna watch this opening every time because I love it so much. Like just the way that they stop and they have the unknown spell out crystal. It's just so good. I gotta make sure that the input is working. I'm getting ready to go chance because stocks for tomorrow, but that means yeah, the opening's really good. So yeah, last time I literally left off, we were over here in Saffron City. Welcome. This is Silphco's head office building. I don't remember if you can actually get anything here. I don't think so. Oh, hold on. Well, not that I can use the upgrade anyway, but it's fine. The upgrade is basically a trade. Is basically a trade item for Oregon. All right, I forgot we have an experience share. Just for a second, because I know Rapid Ash's moveset is not great in this game, but I still love very much. So let's grab you. Let's see. This isn't the time to use that. Yes, I know. Alright, item, give. This is yours now. So the main reason why we're keeping Ali in for Saffron is because Ali has Bite. Bite is a dark type move, and Ali's attack stat is kind of juiced. I love her very much. So all of these things work to our advantage. Fernie is pretty strong as a special attacker, but also she has at least a little bit of bite for attack, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We'll work out something with Jin over here. Also, hi Sasha. So this is probably a terrible idea what I'm about to do anyway, but it's fine because if by some chance we're able to get if we're able to get Fernie at least a little bit stronger, then I'm okay with this, TM. Hey, Stubby. Shining Golden Land of Commerce. So yeah, Saffron City basically still has the two buildings, right? This one is the actual gym. This one is the fighting dojo. Oh, huh. I actually thought that was gonna be a fight. I thought that there's gonna be a fight here, and I forgot that it's not how that works here, because my brain is empty. Alright. Yo, champ of the making. A trainer as skilled as you doesn't need to be told how to deal with psychic-type Pokemon, right? I expect great things from you. Good luck. That's fucked up. Dog, that is not helpful at all. That's fucked up. The short answer is that basically in this generation, Dark-type Pokemon, I have to emphasize that Dark-type Pokemon absolutely, like, kick Psychic types in the nuts in this game. 100%. Like, 10,000%. Focus Band. RNG makes this item either the single strongest item in the game or waste of a held item. LOL. But yeah, it's time to talk about Pokemon stuff, because it's important. Apparently this is a thing that y'all like to hear me do. Say this is a joke as far as the apparently part goes. To be entirely clear, the apparently part is the joke. But yeah, basically speaking, I vaguely alluded to this before. But basically speaking, the thing about dark types, I adore you and promise I'm not gonna give you shit. Fair. Well, the thing about them is they're barely in this game. Yes. Which is the complicating factor, right? Because on the one hand, dark types are not really in this game very much. That's true. And the other downside to that is that I believe... No, I'm getting it backwards. No, let me double check. I'm gonna double check before I tell a lie. Okay. I'll give you shit, but only to cause chaos creating to the cutie streamer. Okay, I did remember this correctly. It's the Sunday Just Hit stream. Thank you. Thank you, Sabira. Hi, Sabira. Okay, right. So here's basically the double-edged sort of thing here. On the one hand, Dark type is a special typing in Generation 2, which means that damage from Dark type moves runs off your special attack, right? There's that. And aside from a very specific number of Dark type Pokemon, you don't have very many. This is true. On the other hand, Dark-type Pokemon are flat-out immune to Psychic-type attacks. And Psychic-type in this generation does not have Fairy-type attacks, nor Focus Blast as a way of doing type coverage. Not for Dark-types anyway. So, if you want coverage against Dark-types, you either have to aim for their secondary types if they have one, or you're pissed out a lot, basically, if you're a Psychic-type in this generation. So, for example, right, like, Umbreon is built more... Isn't it the same thing in Gen 1? Dark types didn't exist in Gen 1. So, the issue in Gen 1... to go back a little bit, we get to have this conversation now. And, like, the fun thing. The issue in Gen 1 is... There are a couple of layers to it. But the first layer is that in Gen 1... There was no separation between special attack and special defense. Dark types also didn't exist in Gen 1, but I'm going to get to that in a second. So, in Gen 1, you had any given Pokemon had 4 stats: attack, defense, special, and speed. Right? So, because of that, special governed both how much damage you did with special attacking types and how much damage you received from them as well. In Psychic types, many of them have naturally a very high special stat in Gen 1, which basically means that if you're using Fire-type attacks, Electric-type attacks, all that other stuff against them, on average, most Psychic types don't take nearly as much damage as if you just, like, punch them in the face, right? Exactly. In Gen 1, one of the strongest counters to a Psychic type was either a strong normal type with Hyper Beam, because Hyper Beam would run off of physical attack stat, or an Electrode with Explosion. Yeah, about the same, right? Because Electrode would be quick enough, explode, bam, done, right? But here's the problem with Ghost types. Ghost didn't have strong moves to begin, aside from being bugged. Ghost types didn't have strong moves to begin with, and the only Ghost line that's available in Generation 1, you can explode them with Psychic type attacks because they're poison. Right? So, like, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, I love them. I love them to tears. They are great. They are wonderful designs. They are. But if you put up especially in Gen 1, you put up a Gengar against an Alakazam, if that Alakazam is faster, Psychic Gengar is... There are ways around this in competitive or whatever, but, like, I'm talking just, like, if you're playing on average, Gengar will get cooked by an Alakazam in most situations because Alakazam is fast enough, Alakazam uses Psychic. Ghost type yeah. The only 2 Ghost type attacks were Lick and Nightshade. And Nightshade does not do super effective damage. Nightshade, because it does fixed damage by level of the user, Nightshade cannot do super effective damage. You use Nightshade on a Psychic type, it's always going to do exactly whatever... The damage that it does is exactly equal to the level of the Pokemon that uses it. So, as an example, right? Let's talk about this for a second. Loic uses Nightshade on a Psychic type, it only ever does 40 damage. It does not do, like, double and go up to 80 or anything like that. No, it doesn't work like that. Nightshade is always fixed damage based on the level of the user, and it does not proc super effective or not very effective or anything like that. It is independent of that. But it's always the same amount of damage. Based on, or rather, its damage is always based on the level of the user. So yeah, like, this is not to say that, like, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar are bad in Gen 1, but you can't use them effectively as counters against an Alakazam, because, like, you'll just get fucked up. Like, you just die. Lick's base power is like 20 years. I can tell you right now, because I've got a thing. I can tell you that right now. In generations 1 through 5, the power of Lick, the base power, is 20. It has only been 36 since Gen 6 and later. Which, for context, means Gen 6 was Pokemon X, Y, and Z. Or sorry, X and Y. There was no Pokemon Z. Lol. Pokemon X and Y. Literally is the only time that Lick got a boost. That was it. Ah. Let me get the gym map. Because I'm not trying to like... Okay. We could go straight for Sabrina if I actually feel like... I'm so grateful that Game Facts exists because somebody literally just put together the most MS Paint-ass map of how to get through Sabrina's gym. And I'm so grateful for it because it is simple, clear, and to the point. I am not sitting here trying to go like, well, dang, like, what am I trying to do? How far am I going? It's like, no, it's like very, very clear, right? It's like, here's the map. Here's the fastest way to get to Sabrina. ADNO. The power of all those you defeated comes to me. So yeah, case in point, watch, I'll do this. And this is the problem, right? So you see how, like, right there, I got hit with a... It's super effective, right? Imagine that problem. Yeah, let's switch it up. Alright, Allie, get out there. Get up here! Sludge Bomb wasn't resistant? Yeah. Psychic types never resisted poison. Headbutt. Really? On a Hypno? God, that's so terrible. Strong. Far too strong. What is the source for your power? I reincarnated effectively multiple times and done this a lot. Like, what's the secret of your powers? Like, would you believe me if I said that I've lived multiple lives in which I have, like, not only have I been here to this gym before, the fighting dojo next door is once the city's gym. Yeah. But yeah, realistically, if I'd chosen to prepare a little bit more, I could have come in here with, like a Mischievous and thrown Shadow Balls and shit, and I would have it would have been a done deal. Reflect only works against, well, I don't know if, I think Poison is a special attacking type in this game. So, yeah, get fucked. But yeah, Mischievous plus Shadow Ball would have also just eaten, like, stomped a hole through these nerds. I couldn't. Mischievous is only a mouse. Silver? Okay, fair. Thank you for the reminder. As you can tell, I do not remember sometimes where to actually find Pokemon. So sometimes I say bullshit. Thank you for correcting me. Execute. Yes. Shit, I took Rapid Ash out. It's fine. Let's put Sue in instead. They're cooked. Which I know is a hilarious thing to say about an execute. Poison is physical as well. By the way, thank you. I couldn't remember. Thank you. So yeah, basically my only answer coming in here if I was trying to prepare ahead of time would have been that I would have had to come in here with like a Haunter, maybe a Gengar if trading was an option, and come in with Shadow Ball. And even then, that's me, like, I have to count on the fact that I have to be faster than everybody that I fight, or I'm fucking cooked, right? And that is a big gamble. So, basically, I say all this to say that, like, the way to remember it is, can it be an evolution? Is it dragon? If yes to either, it's special pre-Gen 4. Thank you. That's actually very helpful. I will try to remember that. Thank you. Because that's a good point, because that covers fire, water, grass, electric, psychic, dark, and dragon, which makes sense. Should have something for water types, really, and the fact that I don't is kind of a problem. Isn't that cute? Slowbro looking back at the shell there on the tail. Swift. Oh yeah, I should do this probably actually, just to like fuck around. Yep. Pocket sand, pocket sand, pocket sand. Alright, enough dicking around. Let's see. It should be Alley, probably. Or it could be Taloic, I guess. Because, like, I don't remember how good Slowbro's physical defense is in this game in particular. We don't need more. Though I read you, I still lost. Yes, you... Yep. Do I have... Probably not. It would be nice if I had a rare candy, but I probably don't. I don't need this shit. Fuck out of here. I almost went to the wrong spot. That would have been hilarious. Alright. I knew you were coming. 3 years ago, I had a vision of your arrival. You're after my badge. I don't enjoy battling, but it's my duty as the leader to confer badges on anyone who has proven themselves worthy. Since you wish it, I will show you my psychic powers. Less awkward than saying him or herself. Just saying. Do 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 do. Ooh. I'm cook. That's a cooking. Well, ouch. Nah, I think we're gonna want to come back. I'm thinking about it in my head right now. I'm running the math. I'm like, this is a bad idea. Even in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is a bad idea. Sure, I don't think we want to do this. I could do it, but it would involve a lot of like, that's a war of attrition, and I'm not trying to do that. Let's not do that, actually. Not Sabrina, you're good. You made your point. I want to cook this nerd, and then we're gonna go grind a little bit. Man, now I'm thinking about Sabrina's heart gold. Listen, Sabrina's heart gold soul silver design, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, 100%. And I'm not just saying that because of like, you know, the midriff. I'm saying it in the context of like, it does a nice job of sort of like, how do I put it? Okay, this is my jam. This is the thing I kind of want to talk about. Psychic power is the power of your soul. This is the thing I'm trying to get at. With Sabrina's Heart Gold and Soul Silver design, you get the feeling that, right? You actually get the feeling that, in a very real sense, time has actually passed for her, right? When you look at it. Because, especially by comparison to, like, the way that she was designed in, there we go. Alright. It's It's one of those things where when you look at Sabrina's design in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it still feels... At first you may go, wow, but she was so serious. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that she would, like, wear at all, right? But at the same time, I think it does a better job of indicating, yeah, you know, time has passed. This isn't a few years ago. She's changed up her style a little bit, etc., right? Whereas, at least if you look at Pokemon Yellow's design for Sabrina, and then compare it to Gold, Silver, Crystal, not that much is immediately different, right? But it does a good... Yeah, that's the thing I was trying to say. It does a good job of sort of indicating how time has passed and what's different about Sabrina in the time since, like, you may have, like, last met or spoken or otherwise talked to her in the context of, like, the Pokemon world, right? Alright, Vampy's gonna resist that, huh? Whoops. Oh well, we can make it work. Vampy's a ground type, so it should either resist or be immune to poison. One of those two. I forget sometimes. But that's fine, because we have a coverage move. That coverage move is called Nightshade. Alright, Bug, Rock. I should fix that. Switch it up, phones. Oh, unfortunate. It missed. And that should be an evolution now, I think, if I remember correctly. It's like level 21 or 28. My Fanpy! 28 then. Alright. The only thing is that where do we find Pokemon that are roughly on level? This is the problem. And this is the part about, like, Kanto that's a pain in the ass, right? Because if you, because sure, the trainers are all roughly on level, but the wild Pokemon in most of the areas that you're at aren't. And so, like, training in Kanto can be really a pain in the ass because you don't have your pick of trainers that are, like, explicitly super strong to kind of, like, grind levels off of. Gotta head back to work. Good luck, Sabrina. Alrighty. Good luck. Alright. Have a good time at work, Sasha. Thanks for stopping by. The experience shit. The experience share still splits it. That's hilarious. So basically, I think the main option that we have for actually training at this point is that I think I have to go back down into Victory Road and go, like, fuck around in Victory Road in order to get wild Pokemon that are strong enough. So I think that's what we're gonna try real quick. So I'm gonna deposit 2. Let's withdraw. I still don't know why Pidgeot's name is D-Maynard. I don't know how we came up with that. Oh, this is painful. I guess I do have one other option to make this less painful. And I may take it, so... Let's look at Condor's move set and what it learns in Gen 2. When probably. I just needed to see what Houndour's move list was first, so that I can like figure out where it's safe to jump it ahead to. Okay. Cool. And then on the other, if we pop over into okay, that's Yeah, its move list is its learn list is pretty small. Let's put it off. Okay, I think I have. That's right. We're gonna. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, we're gonna Billy Mitchell it. I just need to like actually. Here we go. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta cancel here, make sure I don't get rid of something important here. 1, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6. One, I'm trying to make sure that I don't mess up and put this. I'm trying to make sure I don't put this in the spot where it will overwrite something that I can't replace. I guess it's not that important to have it either, right? So, sorry, I keep reflexively minimizing that when I shouldn't. That's why it's causing that. Let's try this. Okay, cool. That did actually work. What do you know? Okay, cool. So it just stays there. Alright. No, you're not. This is on purpose. We'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. We're gonna keep Bite for right now because we want to replace that with Crunch eventually. And now we're gonna let it go. Look at her. She's become a Houndoom. Alright. So let's see. Alright, that's why I wanted to wait, because... fuck. Because now Crunch doesn't come up till much later in the moveset. That was kind of a fuck up. Oh well. I could reload the save that I made and then do it that way. Because then... Let's do it that way, actually. Because the main thing is that, I want to make sure, I would like her to have Crunch without having to, like, absurdly, like, level jack her. So let's not do that. So Fernie, you're moving up front. So I can just, like, drop the rare candies on you. Alright, let's go. This is technically not the quote-unquote best way to make a Pokemon grow, because, technically speaking, there are, stat gains from... There are stat gains from fighting that Fernie is technically missing out on, but the alternative is, attack. Yes. We want to get rid of Leah for right now. Hey, Shiny. So the reason why... Hold on a second. Oh, I think it's going through and turning every... It keeps moving down. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's dangerous. That is very dangerous. Hold on a second. I gotta count this carefully. Because I realize now it's going through the other items that I'm using. So I need to count from the bottom and need to put it at the bottom. So I don't... Because that's the dangerous thing, I think. Hang on a second. I'm gonna just save. I'm gonna do a save state real quick just to be sure of something. If this iron disappears after we use this rare candy, then I know that that's what's happening. I just gotta be sure of something real quick. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the iron is gone, so it's eating through. That's why we keep having so many, because it's eating through all the ones that we have. So, okay. I gotta think about this for a second. Because that's not the thing that we want to do. Let's not do that, actually. Because that's scary. But this is why we save our game before we do these things. Could this be? Yeah, basically I just need to have a stack of things. I think I just need to have a stack of I need to have a stack of whatever it is I want to replace, of what it is I would like to replace with it there, or using it, and I think we'll be okay. Why are the items being eaten? So, I had I had on the cheat code for infinite rare candies, but the code itself basically works by replacing one item at the top of the stack, which is, and so the issue with that is as I go down the stack, it only gives me one of the rare candies, so as I go down the stack it causes other issues. Okay, so this is the less frightening way. Just to make, ooh, yeah, it's getting upsetty. I gotta be careful. Let me map this out real quick. Yeah, we want exactly 23 level. 23, 20, 43 minus 20 is 23. So we just want 23 rare candies. Okay. Oh, geez, that's... Okay, that's the trick. It's doing it exactly based on that. Okay. So then, flower mail is which item? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, do we have one to replace it at that? That would be helpful. Okay, so let's try this. Just take a sip. Dang, I thought I was being clever. It made it even more expensive. Ah, pain. Okay, let me see something. Damn. Alright, let's see. I just need something cheap, basically, that I can get 23 of. Wait, I'm thinking too hard. I'm thinking too hard. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm thinking too hard. See, this is why sometimes you're just too clever for your own good. I'm like, I just need 23 of something. It's like you could just literally just get 23 pieces of flour mail. Doofus. Alright, there we go. Okay, good. Alright, there we go. Got exactly what I needed. So basically what happened was... Okay, sorry y'all. I had to take a minute and like tell myself to stop being too clever. The short answer is I went while break was going and bought a bunch of flour mail and then turned the flour mail into rare candies. That's really all I had to do. I was thinking too hard. But yeah, Shiny, the reason why the items were being eaten is because I was using up the rare candy as I was doing it and I left the code on, it kept turning every item as I was going further down the stack into more rare candies because I left the code on. But the way that we get around this is that by virtue of the fact that I went to go buy a bunch of flour mails, I took the flour mails and turned them all into rare candies instead. So now, and turned off the code. So now it's not going to eat through all of them. We're going to really know the attack. We don't need... Yeah, we don't need... Gonna smoke now. I feel like basically a tumbler. Alrighty. Yeah, sorry all that it took me a minute. I was trying to be too clever about how to get around this. And I just didn't think of the immediately obvious thing, which was just buy a bunch of flour mail because they're really cheap anyway, and then like use that to do this basically. We are deliberately holding off. Yes, Crunch is at level 43. And I bought exactly as many rare candies as I needed to boost her to level 43, and then that's exactly where we're gonna stop. So we're gonna get two moves on the way over. Flamethrower and Crunch. Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting Crunch to like level 52. And it's like, let's not do that actually. We absolutely want Flamethrower. Don't need Ember anymore. So, to explain what Stubby's talking about, for people who don't do this kind of thing in Pokemon, and normally I don't, because normally this isn't as big of a deal to me, but in Pokemon, right, you can actually stop a Pokemon from, if they're evolving via level up, you can actually force them to stop by pressing B during the level up sequence. And the reason why you may want to stop a Pokemon from evolving immediately when they're able to is that there are some moves that a Pokemon's evolved form does not learn at all. And then there are some moves that a Pokemon's evolved form will learn, but much later down the line. So, for example, Houndour, if you let it evolve into Houndoom at level 24, it does not learn Crunch till like level 51. On the other hand, if you keep it from evolving up until it reaches level 43, this is the point at which it learns Crunch. And now we let Fernie evolve. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. What a good doggy. And Crunch is basically the last move that Houndoom picks up through natural learning. And even then, this stat spread didn't turn out nearly. Yeah, I remember being really miffed looking at my Ruby Sapphire players guide, seeing that only Trico learned Giga Drain by level up. Only Torchic learned Fire Blast, and only Mudkip learned Hydro Pump. Yeah. And now at this point, Fernie does not need the At this point now, Fernie does not need the experience share. I like how the animation for Houndoom is just the one big woo. Yeah. I'm gonna get another 15 flower mails. Because basically flower mail is probably one of the cheapest items I can use to turn into rare candies. And I'll use a bunch of them on the Zucchini. Yeah, Dragonair level 30, Dragonite. Okay. Air. Let's double check. Learn sets. Yeah, not learning Outrage. Not learning Outrage until whenever it does as Dragonite. I don't know if that's a deal breaker. I'm thinking about it. Because I don't feel like I don't feel like putting it all the way up. So we're just gonna put it to level 30 and then go from there. Because that's enough for it to be a Dragonair. Dragon Rage. Yes. We're gonna keep Twister for now because the thing about Dragon Rage is that Dragon Rage is always a fixed 40. Welcome back, Cat Wizard. Dragon Rage is always a fixed 40 and does not take into account same type attack damage or weaknesses or anything like that. So you came back just in time, Cat Wizard. Yeah, Outrage isn't quite as busted in Gen 2 as it becomes later gens. Yeah. Nine. Yeah. We can get rid of. Not extreme speed, because extreme speed is pretty good. We don't really need Thunder Wave, though. Fuck that. Slam, on the other hand, has a chance to stun, so we want that. Or, I think, like, Slam has a chance to cause flinch or something, maybe, or just... Yeah, I could probably replace it with something else then at that point. Because, like, I'm not getting rid of extreme speed for Slam. Absolutely the fuck not. And this is good enough for now. Slam is just damage with mediocre accuracy. Yeah. No secondary effect. Well, if I really want to put Thunder Wave back on, it shouldn't be too hard. Hang on a second. Then we can probably... Because, like, the main thing is also... Yeah, I think I can fix that then. It shouldn't be too hard. I think I should be able to modify... I hate Outrage because it causes confusion after a certain random amount of turns, so I never bother getting even in Gen 2. Yeah. There are berries that can cure the confusion and make Outrage more viable, but that's in later games. Yep. I mean, very possibly. Okay, so let's do this real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot, they don't even tell you the accuracy. They don't even tell you the accuracy, do they? Lmao. Yeah, I forgot, I think accuracy's like I think accuracy on moves isn't shown in Gen 2. Okay, anyway, now that I'm done being a dirty Billy Mitchell, let's get down to business. This one. Yeah, that's okay. Alright, cool. Nope, not such. Raise your defense, but Dark type is special attacking, and Houndoom's special stat is really silly. And even then, I used Crunch, so Crunch doesn't go through barriers, but that's just literally how strong. So yeah, now this is also one of the reasons why the physical special split was something that was, in so many words, like absolutely essential. Your power. It far exceeds what I foresaw. Maybe it isn't possible to fully predict what the future holds. Okay, you win. You've earned yourself the Marsh Badge. Give me that. Marsh Badge draws out your subliminal powers. Although I failed to accurately predict your power, this much I know to be true. You will become a celebrated and beloved champion. I mean, I thought I did already, but sure. They don't... Yeah. Fight went from physical to special and then back to physical. I think it's the only move to change its classification like that twice. Yeah. Sounds about right. God damn, that was quick. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? I was saying this earlier, but I think it kind of like bears mentioning, right? With the way that Kanto is set up in Pokemon in GSC is mostly that, like, if you have Pokemon that are on level for the gyms that you're dealing with, you are usually not going to sweat that hard. That is my general experience. At least from what I can remember. The parts, what makes this part of Gold, Silver, Crystal challenging is more so just the lack of opportunity, so to speak, more so than like than anything else. Give me a second, I gotta see something real quick. I don't think it's anybody in here that has it. I know somebody has it. Okay, we gotta probably switch over to box 1. Back in the days. I think... What, Gen 3? I think was the first generation where you were able to switch boxes. No, even in Gen 3, as I recall it, it might have been possible in Gen 3 where it was like, yeah, you don't actually have to, like, you don't have to save to even... Yeah, no, in Gen 3 you could actually, like, go paging through your boxes without having to, like, change them. I had to stop and, like, really think about it for a second. I'm like, wow, yeah. Yeah. Did I really not have any Pokemon with Cut? I was about to say no. There's no way. I'm like, I know I have somebody that. All right. But I also can't deposit. Okay. I didn't think this through. Okay. But to switch back to box 2, I gotta drop somebody off in here and then pull somebody into the party for box 3. Alright. Okay. Here we go. I think this should be it. Alright. Now, let's... One last bit of mischief we're gonna get up to, and then we're gonna go. Let's yell at. We're gonna go have us a yell at what's her face. There we go. There we go. One last bit of like silly trickery, and then we should be off and on. I think. Ah. Okay. Damn it. I was like, I want to teach Rapidash how to use flamethrower, and it's like, lol, you can't. Well, you can, but I have to like fuck around with the day setting and get a bunch of game corner coins and a bunch of other stuff, and it's like that's annoying. You're annoying me. I hate it. I hate it here. So okay, let's just. We're still gonna do it. I just have to be a little more clever about it. All right, hold on a second. Settings. Nope, not that one. This one. Alright, good. We got it. Oh, I think I might actually have a code now for actually being able to get like the by actually being able to transform the trade Pokemon now, which is good. I'm happy about that. We'll try it out after this is over, so I can like actually get a Golem and stuff like that, because that'd be nice. All right. We're not talking to that old man because we know why he's here. We're not talking to him because that's gross. I'll want to fight. All right. Let's just cook her real. Let's just cook Erica real quick because for the memes. We'll show you Pokemon moves that Erica taught us. Cool. Oh, I hadn't even realized that the TP didn't reset. I will fix that at some point. Erica is much, much stronger. Erica will get you back for us. Okay, yeah, I'm sure she'll try. It'll be funny when she tries, but that's not happening. Joe and Zoe, those two do not rhyme. Do you think a girl's only gym is rare? I've been in one before, so no, not really. Yeah, I was about to say, Whitney Shim also counts. That's exactly what I was getting. I was like, yes. So does Jasmine? I think Jasmine has one other trainer in there that's not a girl, as I recall it. Yeah, she'll. I don't remember. It could be that it's just her in there, or it could be that it's not. Off the top of my dome, I don't remember. If it's just her, then yeah, she counts. If it's not just her and the other person in there isn't a woman, then Oh, blah. On the one hand, oh, a battle? That's kind of scary, but okay. One of the other things that I think Rapidash winds up benefiting from in later generations is also just the existence of more physical fire type moves. Because when you look at Rapidash's stat spread, like let's just take a look for a second. Like when you look at Rapidash's stat spread, special attack isn't terrible, right? But you would get much more mileage out of Rapidash that can do shit like Flame Wheel and Flare Blitz and things like that, which can't do in this generation. It's very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Houndoom is literally out here wrecking shit because the special attack stat is kind of juiced, and is relatively fast. And special attack being juiced in this generation basically means, hey, lol, dark type attacks do a shit ton of damage. Were you looking at these flowers or at me? This is your reminder, by the way, that like for people who are like, yeah, Pokemon is for kids. This is your reminder that Parasect is basically just the mushroom. By the time Paras becomes Parasect, it really is just the mushroom. That is a canon fact in Pokemon, just so that you're aware. The mushroom on the backs of a Paras do in fact grow and effectively like take over all of the Paras's autonomic functions, and it basically becomes just a host to the mushroom. Isn't it so pleasant? I'm afraid I made those off. My name is Erica. I'm the leader of Celadon Gym. Oh, all the way from Johto, you say? How nice. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you wished to challenge me. Very well, but I shall not lose. Yes, you will. Like, very well, but I shall not lose. Like, I'm literally about to beat your ass. This is a joke. Yeah, it's why its eyes are blank after evolves. Yep, that's why. Erica's like, very well, but I will not lose. I spit literal fire. So yeah, like, the main thing about Pokemon Crystal is mostly, like, my main sort of, like, criticism, such as it is mostly just that, like, the only reason why Kanto is difficult is that if you come in with a very specialized team in Kanto, and you don't have a lot of time, like, you have to spend a lot of time grinding. If your team isn't, like, flexible enough to... Hey, Risu. Enemy velocity took in sunlight. Nah, no you didn't. No you didn't. Shut up. That's cute. You thought you were going to punk me out. Nah, that's not happening. Get out of here with that. Literally that. That Blossom was about to try to hit me with Solar Beam. But yeah, morning, Risu. So, of course, my answer was like, no, the fuck you're not. Erin is trying her best here. She is. But unfortunately, I came loaded for Bear. Which is not her fault. So yeah, like my main thing about Crystal, primarily, right? And also true of Gold and Silver. Is mostly just that like they did you come loaded for Oh my god. Oh, I concede defeat. You are remarkably strong. I shall give you the rainbow badge. That was a delightful match. I felt inspired. Please, I wish you out this TM. It is Giga Drain. It is a wonderful move that inflicts half the damage. Wait. Did Sabrina not give me a TM? See, my keyboard took the L out of that because I used a certified dub. Losing leaves a bitter aftertaste, but knowing they're a strong trainer spurs me to do better. Wow. Damn, Sabrina, that's just rude. Sabrina didn't even give me a TM. Fuck out of here. Alright. Sure, whatever. What would she give you? IDK, Future Sight, I mean, I know Future Sight wasn't a TM here. And I know that, like, Psychic, I think you still get at Mr. Psychic's house. I'm shit posting, is what I'm saying. I'm shit posting. It's a shit post. I'm shit posting. Alright. Future Sight is not Toonzatsu's signature move this generation. Yeah, I know, I know it's not a TM. That's why I'm shit posting for it. Okay, so that more or less knocks out most of that. Thank you for the GGs. The main problem that I know I'm facing going forward is that I don't have a really strong grass type or a very strong electric type. So Misty's gonna fuck me up. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm gonna be real. I'm not. Who do I have that can just throw flash on for the memes? Because thankfully the move deleter does at least exist in this generation. So I can throw... Yeah, I'll just put it on V. Deposit. No, don't want to deposit anybody. Dash, Esper, Tloa, Fernie. I need. Who do I need? Alright, I said I made a promise that I was going to try. Okay, so we don't need battle right now. Right, I said I was going to try the thing that I found. So let me do that. Come here. First we're going to do a hard save. And then, let's see here. Hard save. Save state. And then last I need to make sure that we do is here. Alright. Alright, yeah, it worked. Alright. We got it. I figured it out. Alright, so now the only thing that we need to do is, so what did we, I actually found a modifier that changes, it directly changes what Pokemon is in a specific slot, and the code last time said it was going to do that and it didn't do that. This time it actually does do that. So I'm going to deposit Geo and then withdraw her and see if that sets her stats correctly. Yeah, I did. Thank you for reminding me, but I did. I literally went back and deleted the code out of there before doing anything. So now let's see and make sure. Yep, stats got recalculated afterward too, so that's even better. So the only thing is that, like, she still registers as Graveler because shenanigans, I guess. There we go. Much better. The only thing is that because we didn't see her evolve, we don't have her Pokédex entry. So it's one of those things where it's like if I want to make sure that the Pokédex entry also shows up, I have to basically engineer. I have to deliberately engineer a fight with one in the wild in order to fix that. Huh. I thought that Venonat would have been able to learn that. That's a shame. Alright. So yeah, basically speaking, this means that if I want to, I can also do this to get a Gengar if I really feel like it. Alright, let's see. Who do I have? Because basically at this point, the main thing that we need to deal with, one of the main things we need to deal with is the rock tunnel so that we can like actually work our way back around. So I guess the power plant is also on the agenda, insofar as like stuff to get done. I just don't remember if we can reach it from here without shenanigans. I feel like it's like we gotta... Okay. This is a time where I will ask. Which way do I go to get to the power plant again? Because that's... At some point, I know I need to go there for that. I know that the actual part, I need to go to... Okay. Let's deal with Cerulean first. Yeah, so we're going back to Saffron and then crossing north to Cerulean. The only thing that's going to be a problem right now with Misty is that I don't have any grass types that are really, really trained up to deal with her. Not really. Wrong way. So, our options basically boil down to I gotta buy cheap mail again and then use the mail as a booster item replacement. Yeah, I don't have any electric types either. Like this is basically like the one hole in this strategy right now. Because at some point I'm gonna have to fight Misty, right? But in terms of like grass types, I've got Bellsprout, and that's about it. I could fish up Lantern in the Olivine dock. Yeah, but that involves going back to Olivine, which is not impossible, but it's work. Okay, so we've got Esper, Loic, Phasma. You know what? This isn't the worst time for Jin to be out, I think. Because at the very least, the resistance will help. And then we need We need Allie anyway. Alright. Yeah, this should do. I should have enough coverage moves that theoretically I'm fine. Let me check. I saw what Shiny said, but I want to wait till after ads are over to read it. Okay, so let me think. I'm just looking up some I'm looking up some shenanigans. Kanto and Gengar's. No. Nightshade, Fuse Ray, Dream Eater, Destiny. Gengar's moveset should be. Gengar's learn set should be exactly the same. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So. Okay, so then realistically, actually, want to put it to level 30. 36? Oh, Destiny Bond, do I really care about that much? Hypnosis Dream Eater combo, do I really still care about that much? Hypnosis Dream Eater is still a good setup, but that's 2 slots to have set up, and that's a lot. Pain in the ass. No, let's just keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. So, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we just need like 9 Seraph Mails. Alright, 9 pieces of Seraph Mail. Switch over to the items pocket. Surf Mail up to the top. Step out of here, go into this. That's right. We're gonna cheat. Yeah, because that's not doing shit. Pass will learn Nightshade. And I'm gonna replace Nightshade with Shadow Ball anyway. So, whatever. So, oh, I got extra. Huh. I miscounted. It's supposed. I get it all at 28. It's 25. It's fine. Alright, so now this is the next thing. Switch. Fine. Make a save state, and then we just need to... You sheets. Put this Pokemon code. Yep, there we go. And now she's the Gengar that she was meant to be. City Pokemon Gym Leader, Misty the tomboyish. Yep. Alright, so let me drop her in the PC and then pull her back out to recalculate her stats, and then we're good to go. I watched this video about Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, and wow, I am glad Sora, Riku, and Kairi weren't raised in ancient Keyblade Master Society. How ancient are we talking? Like birth by sleep era or older than that? Because that's fair. Both birth by sleep and older? Yeah. Shadow Ball. Teach Shadow Ball to a Pokemon? Yes, actually. Phasma. Yes. I don't want fucking Nightshade. I don't need that shit. Alright. Timeline-wise, Union Cross and Dark Road are the oldest in the series. Look at that. Special attack 73. And all at level 26. Gengar is fucked up. Let's not get that twisted. Gengar's fucked up. Alright, so Tloic, Jin. Esper, Ali, Phasma. Shadow Ball's physical though. Oh right, because fuck! Right, fuck! You told me the trick and I immediately forgot it. God damn it, Gen 2. No, Misty's not at the gym yet, so we need to go up north. We need to go check the place that was robbed and then go up north. Are you collecting Kanto gym badges? Yes, I am. Are you literally only there just to ask that? The Cape in the north is a good place for dates. Girls like it. Yeah. There's a notice here. Stamp out thievery, make the city a friendlier, more cheerful place. The Cerulean Police. We were held up by robbers before. Uh-huh. I heard that some shady character's skulking about. Won't say it for it turns out to be a thief. Yep. Cerulean Cape is ahead. Huh. Well, I guess this solves one problem that I've got. Because here I was saying I don't really have grass types, so I can't really make this work. Um, the smell from its jewel-like syrup and the pollen on its petals is so bad it may make opponents fake. I may have used this one already. But we'll see. Alright, so now the real question is... do I want a Blossom? No, I feel like on account of the fact that I named after Rafflesia, I should go for Vileplume. I feel like that's the appropriate answer here. But on the other hand, if I do Blossom, then that means that Starmie doesn't push my shit in. Time to compare learn sets and make the decision. Starmie usually has ice coverage anyway. This is true. But then fuck it, we'll do Vileplume, because why not? But that's the trick. You have to make sure that whatever moves you want Vileplume to know, Bloom has to know them before you evolve it, or you get fucked. Because, okay, so here are some important things to know about Pokemon in case you didn't already know. These are just like things that you should know. In Pokemon, any Pokemon that evolves via the use of an elemental stone, usually, not always, but usually any Pokemon that evolves through the use of an evolutionary stone, will not be able to learn any moves by Learn Set. Once that Pokemon has evolved via use of a stone, nope, done deal. They can't. So, evolutions are the exception yeah. So, if, for example, you want to turn a Growlithe into an Arcanine, you really need to make sure that Growlithe has learned everything that you want it to learn before you use the Firestone on it, because afterward, ain't learning shit. When autumn comes, the males patrol the area around their nest in order to protect the offspring. Hang on, it's somewhere around here. There we go. I don't need an X special. Fuck out of here. Wasting space. So, I believe that they put it back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but because the Gold, Silver, and Crystal cartridges, you had to cut data somewhere, right? So the Cerulean Cave does not exist in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I think it's back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if I remember correctly, because the cartridges had more space by then. But basically, if you go to the entrance of where the Cerulean Cave was in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and you check that tile that I checked, you get the Berserk Gene. It is a consumable hold item. And the description is as follows. Boosts attack but causes confusion. And then it's consumable, as far as I remember. So basically, literally, you only get one use of it. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, we want Jen up front, because she needs some... Yeah, it's effectively the equivalent of using swagger on yourself with an item. Beat the 6 of us trainers to win a fabulous prize. Think you gotta take... Okay, right, this is where the Nugget... This is basically where, like, the old Nugget Bridge battle got moved to. Why is this bad? Swagger is so strong that they're considering banning it in Gen 9 competitive if it hasn't already been banned. Yeah. So, to Stubby's point, right? Oh, Moonlight's gonna restore so much HP. Fuck! Or, no, it won't yet. I thought it was going to restore way more because, basically Moonlight restores health proportionate to what time of day it is. So, the later it gets into the night, the more health it restores. Bro! I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm throwing up. But yeah, no, Swagger is really silly. Specifically, the whole thing about Swagger is that normally, right, the way that Swagger works, it also exists in this gen, to be clear. When you use Swagger, what happens is that your opponent gets a sharp boost in attack, but then is confused afterward. So I'm gonna go put the Berserk Gene in my PC, actually, because I just want to have it. I'm never gonna use it. But the whole thing about Swagger is that it'll boost the opponent's attack by 2 stages and then confuse them afterward. And the thing about that is that if you do not have a way to, like, immediately undo the confusion part, you get put in a position where you basically have to gamble on whether or not you're going to wind up hurting yourself even worse because of the increased damage from your attack boost, or assuming that you can swing it, right? This turns all of your attacks that run off of your physical stats into extremely dangerous powerhouses, right? So, it's one of those things that, like, that cost-benefit analysis, depending on, like, how you decide to run it, like, you can absolutely ruin somebody's shit like that. I'm second. Now it's serious. Wigglytuff wiggles. Good job, Game Freak. Right? I went to lurk. I went to lurk and see Jin evolve. Dragonair's always been a favorite of mine. Yeah, I basically just went ahead and said, "Fuck it, let's get her going." So I gave her enough to boost her up, and we're good from there. I mean, okay. Who'd you pull out? You pulled out Jin anyway. Good job. Good job. You pulled out exactly. How could I lose? It's because you're a sucker. Alright, let's see. One for Phasma. And then one for Jin. Here's number 3. I will be easy. Yeah. That's what they all say. Schoolboy Joe. Gramble so wishes she could be a fairy type in this shit. Yeah. But then she would have eaten a gigantic bag of shit when I threw Sludge Bomb anyway. So it's, you know, would it have helped in this? It wouldn't have helped in this scenario. I don't think so. You're not wrong, but also like. They pour on my Switch. Yep. Switch it up, phones! This is going to go terribly, by the way. This is like the worst idea that I've had in a long time. This is a terrible idea. Not okay. Maybe not like the absolute worst idea, but I gotta be real. Hello, like. Sludge Bomb is. Sludge Bomb has been carrying way more weight than I really reasonably could expect it to, and it's kind of wild. Like, ow, stop flat. Yes. But yeah, it's wild to me actually that like literally. I'm number 4. Getting tired? Not really. Y'all are trying, but like, it's not working out. I do believe that poison can also out-of-battle KO in this generation. So that's the other part I have to be careful about. Which means I sort of regret throwing away that antidote now a little, but only a little. I wonder if anyone has any footage of Geograph Seal up on the YouTubes. That's been my Flash video. Ultra the Game Studio. Okay, fuck. Happy you said Pokeball. Critical hit. It's super effective. Alright, let's see. Blossom. Not no point in changing, not really. Oh no, you used Absorb. Wow. I lost too. Yes, you did. Okay, I'm number 5. I'll stomp you. Yeah, again, they all say that. Let's see. Yeah, Allie, oh, okay, Moo. Okay. Moo as in the people who made Jack Flash game. That's the one with the like robot rabbit that does like the jumping stuff, right? From like way back in the day. Ah, Jesus. Whoa, too much. Yes, Todd, what is it? Goldmon. Oh. Damn it. Well, there's no getting back there now. Or at least if there is getting back there, right this second my brain is not thinking of the way to do it. Not actually by. That's... This is fine. I'm the last in line, but I tell you, I'm tough. Cool, yeah, uh-huh. Alright, Shannon. Oh yeah, I forgot. Twister actually causes flinch. Okay, then why the fuck did I bother getting Dragon Rage then? Damn. Things looking busy but not particularly bleak, thankfully. I do really need to tie up the apartment though, don't love that. mood. So yeah, the interesting thing about Dragon-type Pokemon is that, like, let's be clear, like, Dragonite is absolutely a monster, right? As far as, like, Gen 1 is concerned, Dragonite is pretty fucking scary. Let's be real. But, like, a lot of the power of Dragon types, I don't think it started getting realized until roughly around Gen 3 and 4. I'm gonna be straight up about it. Gen 3 and 4 is when we started to, like, see that begin to go, like, okay, now we're really here, right? Yeah, like, Gen 3 and Gen 4 is when we start to see, like, oh, okay, actually, this is a little worrisome now. So, the reason why I bring this up is because somebody... I know that at some point we talked about fairy types. Oh, that's paralysis. Man, fuck. Wait, why you have to be shitty about it? Is it a combat thing? Did someone off camera have a gun to your head? Gen 5 is when dragons took over the whole game and forced the creation of fairy type. Yeah. I would say that, like, really, though, you're not wrong, right? The main thing that I was sort of beginning to aim toward was that, like, a lot of that problem started specifically... Gen 3 is when we sort of very slowly... Oh, that's kind of hurt. Not that much, though, because Leech Life is, like, weak as shit in this gen, so it's fine. Leech Life got way stronger way later. But Gen 3 is about when we start seeing the uptick a little bit. And that's mostly because that's the point at which, like, we have Dragon Claw show up, right? Outrage is not new in that generation, but we have Dragon Claw show up in that gen, really, and Dragon Dance as well, or that might have, I don't think that was Gen 2. I think Dragon Dance was, I might be full of shit. Dragon Dance was either Gen 2 or Gen 3. Okay, it is Gen 3, right? So yeah, like, Gen 3 is where we start seeing the upgrade, because we got Dragon Claw and Dragon Dance in that generation, right? Dragon Dance, for people who don't know, is a supporting Dragon-type move that raises attack and speed by 1 stage each. Dragon Claw is basically, I'm gonna call it a cut rate outrage, only in the sense that it's like, so basically, if you look at the hierarchy of Dragon-type moves, especially single target ones, right? You have Twister, then Dragon Rage, then Dragon Claw, then Outrage. At least if we're talking like Gen 3, right? So Dragon Claw existing is helpful for Dragon types because it gives them something that's a step up from Twister that also happens to hit super effective against whatever types Dragon hits super effective against, like Twister does, right? But it's not fixed damage the way that Dragon Rage is. And fixed damage does eventually, like, fall off and stop being as useful further on in a given Pokemon game, right? So Dragon Claw, on the other hand, you can use it without having to worry about confusion like you would with Outrage, so it takes less setup to run. So if you've got a Dragon-type Pokemon and it's got, like, Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, you're pretty good, right? Like, that'll fuck somebody's shit up. Gen 4 is what I would consider... Stubby said Gen 5, right? But the way that I look at it is that Gen 5 of Pokemon is where we get the tip over from the stuff that was set up in Gen 3 and Gen 4 as far as for Dragon types going. Gen 5 is where we see the tipping point. Personally, to me. So it's not so much that it's like Gen 5 is like, oh, now they're overpowered, but, or let me phrase that more carefully. Gen 5 is when it becomes apparent that that's the thing. Because Gen 3 is the setup. Gen 4. Gyarados is not a dragon type unless it Mega Evolves. The only way that Gyarados becomes dragon type is when it Mega Evolves. Otherwise, it's water flying. It does pick up. It does pick up Dragon Rage. And... I'm silly. I forgot about Dragon Breath. It's in this generation, isn't it? Dragon Breath is Gen 2. So, there's that also to consider. Let me go look. Yeah, Dragon Breath should be a thing in this. Yeah, Gyarados is still not Water Dart. God damn it! Thank you, Stumpy. I got myself fucked up. Thank you. Dragonite was the only dragon type in Gen. The Dratini line, period, is the only one. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. And even then, Dragonite winds up eating a tremendous amount of shit against ice-type attacks because it picks up a flying subtype as Dragonite. Which means that you hit it with an ice-type attack, taking quad damage, you get fucked up. Yeah, Kingdra is the only dragon type that they added in Gen 2, but because Kingdra is water dragon, it only takes double damage from ice attacks instead of quad. Which is so fucked up. But yeah, so the reason why I say that like Gen 5 is where you really see like the oh shit, we're in some deep shit now sort of deal with this, right? Actually, I might as well just replace... The Dragon Rage ain't doing shit. I might as well just replace it with Dragon Breath, right? Like, Dragon Rage is, like, okay, but, like... Its usefulness is gonna wear off eventually. So, fuck it. Right. Let me finish my thought. So... With Gen 4, right? The reason why... And funny fact, Risu, that is literally, or at least some form of that, is actually a joke that Claire herself makes when you... Nothing to do with six-pack trainers. I waited here to beat you when you were tired out by all the battles. Oh, okay. So you're just a fucking loser then. That's cool. Alright, dipshit. Okay. No, we don't want you to be out here, Jin, because you're literally about to get your shit pushed in. I think Phasma might be able to handle... No. Ghost type. Fuck! That was good to tank the hit, but for nothing else. Taloa, go! It's because Phasma doesn't have any attacks for normal type coverage, so... Eat a Sludge Bomb, shut up. The Sludge Bomb for you. Now, technically it was Pikachu's fault. Like, I feel obligated to point out that technically that was Pikachu's fault and not Porygon's. It's Pikachu's fault, actually. Aren't you tired at all? I'm sorry, I won't cheat anymore. You took on one more battle than you expected, but you won anyways. Promised you win a prize. Yeah, baby! Nuggets! I've seen how you battle. I want to see how I'll fare. How about it? Let me take you on. This is rotten, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out there. Because you can't even say to him, like, yo, no, actually. Like, they just say, actually, fuck you. Here's another one. And his name is Kevin. Yeah, I hate Kevin. I hate Kevin. Okay, right, let me finish my talk about earlier. I got so distracted by all of this shit that I never actually finished my line of thought. Right, so let me phrase that a little different. Because I realized that I got my facts halfway. So, dragon types over the years in Pokemon. Let's talk about this. So yeah, Gen 1, the thing about, the thing about, like, dragon types in Gen 1 is that, yeah, you really only had, like, the one move, right? You really... Dragon Rage was the only dragon type move, and the Dratini line was the only dragon type line in Pokemon in general. And Dragon Rage didn't even do, can't even hit weaknesses against other dragon types, for example, because of the fixed damage move. So, yeah, the shit was just shit. Let's just be real. It wasn't good. Like, it was bad. We can be real, right? But despite all of that, it should still tell you a lot that literally, even in spite of that, right? Dragonite was still maybe not outright one of, not the best Pokemon in the game, but it was still pretty good. The stats were really good, and it had a relatively diverse move pool, all things considered. Yes, the Kanto middle stage trio. War Turtle, Charmeleon, and Rhyhorn. Huh? You know, Billy's my grandson. He's in Johto. He does something with PC, so I'm house sitting. Grandson Bill told me about Pokemon has a long time. The other Pokemon, may I see it, please? I don't have it. I may have forgotten to do something important in the city beforehand, which made all of that technically pointless, but also technically fun. So, Slowbro, show me your confusion. Slowbro doesn't do anything. Right, dragon types. I keep getting sidetracked from that, damn it. Right. But like I said earlier, the main thing about Dragonite is that it eats a gigantic bag of shit to, it eats a gigantic bag of shit if you throw Ice-type moves at it, because it'll take quad damage. So that's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, well, oops, right? So, again, it wasn't a bad Pokemon precisely. But, it's one of those things where, kind of underwhelmed, right? That's Gen 1. Gen 2, Dragon types get slightly more options. Slightly. We get Kingdra. we get slightly more options because we get Dragon Breath, we get Outrage, right? And we get Twister. So when we look at Gen 1, right? We go from literally one Dragon type move that doesn't do shit to Twister, which can flinch and hit flying Pokemon that are flying in the air. But yeah, we get Twister, we get Outrage, and we get Dragon Breath. And Dragon Breath, I don't remember if in this generation it can cause paralysis or not, I forget. Route 9, Cerulean Cities, or Rock Tunnel. Yeah. I came to explore Rock Tunnel. Cool. It can. Okay, cool. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure it was either in this generation or a generation afterward that it got that ability. So yeah. Dragon types are doing slightly better in Gen 2. All things considered. I didn't use anything yet, dipshit. Yep, fuck. But only just, right? As Dragon Breath, you now have a pretty clean throw line between because with Dragon Breath now you can pretty much cleanly go Twister, right? Twister, Dragon Breath, Outrage. But I'm not going to say no one learns Dragon Breath naturally, but I'm pretty sure the Dratini line does not, to my knowledge, learn it naturally. So so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool, but like, who learns that? I want to say maybe Kingdra learns it naturally, but don't quote me on it. I don't remember for sure. That's not she learns, right? So yeah, how do you know? Yeah, no Pokemon learn moves taught by gym TMs via level up. Okay, so Dragon Breath basically kind of like fills the gap, but you only get to teach it one time. So like, better but not great. The reason why I said Gen 3 is about the spot where we start seeing that change a little bit is because with Gen 3, we get Dragon Claw and Dragon Dance both introduced, right? Picnicker Liz. So yeah, Gen 3 gives us Dragon Dance as well as Dragon Claw, right? And to Stubby's point, Dragon Claw isn't an HM move. Sorry, isn't used in. That's what I should say. To my knowledge, Dragon Claw is not taught as a TM in Gen 3. So some Pokemon do, in fact, learn it naturally, which is helpful. For example, Charmander in Fire Red Leaf Green has Dragon Claw in its natural moveset, I think. It does Metal Claw for sure. Maybe not Dragon Claw, but it does Metal Claw for sure. That much I know for a fact. I had to stop and think for a second. I'm probably wrong about the Dragon Claw part, but I'm right about the Metal Claw part. That much I know for sure. The thief broke into the power plant. What is the world coming to? This power plant had been abandoned in the past. We got it back up and running to provide power to the magnet train. Cool. Someone made off with a part that's essential for the generator. Without it, the new generator is useless. I collect Pokemon. Do you have Doug Trio? Want to trade it for my Magneton? Magnet train consumes a lot of electricity. Can't move the new generator isn't operating. Yeah, figured. Power plant's manager's up ahead, but since someone wrecked the generator, he's been both sad and furious. Well, let's talk to him. I'm ready to blast some Who would dare ruin my generator? I spent so much time on it. If I catch him, he's gonna get a taste of my Zap Cannon! Thank you, Stubby. Alright, cool. So I can use that chart as a point of reference to talk about the thing. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. So, for context, right? Gen 3, like I said, is when we get Dragon Claw and Dragon Dance, and that sort of even things out. I just got word from Cerulean, and it appears a shady character's been loitering around. Could I ask for your cooperation? I mean, sure, I'll handle it, I guess. So if I felt like training up a Voltorb into an Electrode to then go punch Misty shit in, I could do that here, but I don't really feel like it, so fuck that. But right. The main reason why I say that like Gen 4 was sort of like the tipping point, and then Gen 5 is where we see the knock-on effect, is because there are a couple of reasons. First and foremost, to Stubby's point about like the chart moves, we basically see we get Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Rush as regular Dragon type moves. When I say regular, I mean in the context of Pokemon can learn there are Pokemon that can learn these moves that are not legendaries, right? And then you get Roar of Time and Spatial Rend, right? Roar of Time is basically Dragon-type Hyper Beam. Only Dialga learns that. Spatial Rend is Dragon-type... Spatial Rend is basically Dragon-type Slash with a higher... Aeroblast. Oh, fair. Thank you. Spatial Rend is basically Dragon-type Aeroblast. Thank you for the correction. They're only Palkia, right? But putting aside the legendaries, because the legendaries are a big part of this, but putting aside the legendaries for a second, right? Having Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, and Dragon Rush, right? Available after also having Dragon Breath, Outrage, Twister, Dragon Claw, and Dragon Dance from the previous generations, right? On top of the fact that Gen 4 is when we get the physical special split, and that becomes critical, because what happens is, at this point, right, the Dragon type move pool is relatively stable by the time we hit Gen 4, right? And when I say stable, I mean has a variety of moves with a variety of different effects that are generally obtainable by most Pokemon of that type. So leaving aside Roar of Time and Spatial Rend, right? At some point or another, you can pick up a Dragon type that can learn some selection of Dragon Rage, Dragon Breath, Outrage, Twister, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, and Dragon Rush, right? In Gen 4, you have ways of getting a hold of Pokemon that, whether they are Dragon type or not, can learn at least some of those moves. So that's what I generally consider like a stable move pool in Pokemon. The point at which, right, you can reasonably expect to pick up at least most of the moves that are in a given type's move pool without like being up a creek, basically. Right? The physical special split only makes that more pronounced, because what that does is it lets it be so that depending on what a dragon type is geared to, right? Now you're not stressing so much about like, ah, damn, right? I'm surprised they don't let you fly to the Pokemon Center or the power plant anymore, huh? Oh well, that's fine. Let's go back to Cerulean. Here we go. Oops. I'm so sorry. You're not hurt, yes? I'm very busy. No time for talking with you. Not good for me if I'm seen by somebody. Oh no, you see me already. I made a big mistake. Hey you, forget you see me. You saw me, okay? You see, hear, no, absolutely nothing. So, the reason why that particular Team Rocket member speaks so oddly, the idea in the Japanese version is that he's like speaking English, or that he's basically speaking a language that is not native to Kanto or Johto. He's a foreigner, basically. So that's why his hey kid, I'm a Team Rocket member kind of guy. I'm from another country. I'm a #1 trainer. I thought if I stopped the energy, it'd be a big panic for the people here. My mission secret, so I'm not telling you. Alright. Yeah, sure, let's fight. Anyway, so Gen 4, right? I'm also going to be upfront and say that, like, so in Gen 3, right, you had the likes of like Salamence is a pretty good Pokemon and pretty scary and all that other stuff, right? Like, let's be real. But Gen 4 introduced to date, aside from like Dialga and Palkia also being absurdly strong legendaries that are also Dragon type, leaving them to one side for a second, right? Gen 4 also introduced probably one of the most menacing, what we call pseudo-legendaries. So this is something that started with, this is something that actually started with Dratini Dragonair Dragonair, right? Yeah, Garchomp. I'm gonna wait until after the ads are over to get into that, because I know that there are people who can't see it. Oh, I need to wait a little bit. Because I realized that I went ahead and did it, and then I didn't realize that people might not have seen it. I'm just waiting for the ads to finish, and then we'll go from there. I need to ask somebody a question about that thing. Because I might be able to... Sorry, somebody sent me a thing that I might be interested in following up on. I think that's important. Right. So, quick things. While we were on break, the Team Rocket member that bumped into me on the way out, he was the one that stole the machine part. So you have to go back out toward where the Nugget Bridge is, up north, after you run into him. And then, so you go to the power plant, and you get the message about, like, hey, we saw somebody suspicious running around doing this stuff there, right? What you do at that point is, you come back to Cerulean and enter the gym, and then you'll run into the Team Rocket member like we did before, and then he ran off, right? Once he does that, hi Shan, then you go back up north toward the Nugget Trainer Challenge, and you'll fight him there again. You beat him, and he tells you that he stole the part from the power plant and stuck it in the water at the gym. You check this block in the gym after you beat him, and you get the machine part. And now we're going to go back over to the power plant and go wrap up that part of the side quest. But good to see you, Shan. Hope you're doing well. Right, let me finally finish the story about dragon types. So, I was saying before, Gen 1, they weren't all that hot. Gen 2, they get a couple more moves to pick from, but their move pool isn't really stable yet. The typing is kind of whatever. Gen 3, the move pool is rounded out a little bit more, and you get better representatives. You get more dragon types slightly to like mess around with in Gen 3 also, which helps, right? Dragon, I guess, to take advantage of stuff like Dragon Claw and Dragon... I don't think it learns Dragon Dance. No, I think it does, actually. It might be full of shit. I'm pretty sure that Dragonair learns Dragon Dance starting from Gen 3 forward, and then Dragonite can pick up Dragon Claw at some point, I think, somehow or another, so on and so forth, right? So Gen 3 is about... Is Dragon Dance just working? Considering that's an attack and speed boost by one stage, essentially. Anyway. Stop distracting me, damn it. You big goof. Right. Gen 3 is about the point where the Dragon type move pool and the Dragon type itself starts to stabilize a little bit. Because Gen 1 and Gen 2, kind of whatever. Gen 3, it starts to stabilize a little bit. Gen 4 is pretty much the point at which Dragon types really kick off. And Gen 5, Stubby was saying earlier that Gen 5 is when Dragon types got so overpowered that that's when the Fairy type was introduced in Gen 6. I want to say that it's more like Gen 5 is where we finally saw all the cascade, because Gen 4, Dragon types were already pretty strong. The reasons I was just saying before the ad break were that by Gen 4, you get another 3 Dragon type moves in the Dragon move pool, which means that you basically have enough Dragon type moves that are not exclusive to legendaries that you can sort of spread it out amongst a fair variety of Pokemon, including Dragon types themselves, and hit pay dirt, right? We also had in Gen 4 the physical special split, which allowed certain Dragon types to be able to specialize better in doing one or the other, right? So that flexibility kind of kicked in. And then, most important, the pseudo-legendary thing that I was explaining, right? Here's how this goes. in every generation of Pokemon, there is a Pokemon that you usually have to go out of your way to get. You can catch it in the wild, but it is usually very rare and difficult to get a hold of. However, and it also takes a long time to like actually level up and become strong. However, its base stat totals, in other words, generally speaking in terms of like how strong that Pokemon grows to become on roughly a baseline level, plus or minus whatever quirks come from its own individual nature and training and things like that. These very rare but still catchable Pokemon usually grow up to be like some of the strongest Pokemon in that generation as a step down from legendaries in that same game. These are called pseudo-legendaries, and every generation of Pokemon has one line that is a pseudo-legendary line. In Gen 1, that was Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. Gen 2, technically still Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, but newly introduced was Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar. Right? So for Gen 2, technically speaking, the proper pseudo-legendary line is Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar. Right? The important thing to note here is that, barring very few exceptions I can think of down the line, maybe, pretty much after Gen 2, every single pseudo-legendary type thing that every single pseudo-legendary line that you go down, with maybe some exceptions, right? I said some exceptions, right? I said almost. I said most of the time. Not always. Most of the time, I said. Most of them usually have a dragon type. Generation 3 for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald is the exception because you have Beldum, Metang, Metagross, which is Steel Psychic. But Gen 4, we get Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp. And probably up until this point, Garchomp is pretty much what I would say is the embodiment of the Gen 5 holy fuck dragons tipping point. Like, from my perspective, Garchomp is basically the embodiment of the oh shit, this is what's happening next gen, right? Tybalt, nope. The Gabite one is good. Gabite, I guess you could also say, but yeah, like flat out, Garchomp up until like once you hit later generations. Right now, in the context of leading up to Gen 4, Garchomp was probably straight up. You could put it in the line for. I was literally not joking for once. That's what I heard. Fair. But for your reference, Risu, I typed what I meant to say up top so you can see the way it's actually spelled. But yeah, Garchomp, literally, I say this with no exaggeration, Garchomp is probably the best pseudo-legendary in the first 4 generations. And if it's not the best, it is really, really close. Why is that, Sean? Okay, let's talk about it. Because Garchomp is so strong that it's considered better than Mega Garchomp. And that says something. Because Mega evolutions are usually a step and a half above their regular forms. But we're not talking about Megas yet. Let's stay on this one. Garchomp basically gets the benefit wholly from the physical special split, because Garchomp is basically meant to be a physical sweeper. Its attack and defense stats are really good. It is really fast, and it is absolutely meant to just wreck your shit on physicals. Specials, so-so. But like a physical attacking and speed, that motherfucker will get you. And it's the reason why I say the physical special split was really good for Garchomp is because it lets Garchomp run a set of moves that play entirely off of its attack stat. Garchomp, before Generation 4, with the same moveset, let's theoretically say that Garchomp's... that's the part that I'm covering. Stubby's correct, but this is what Stubby means by that. Garchomp is... if Garchomp had exactly the same moveset, but existed under Gen 3's rules, basically what would happen is that Garchomp's Dragon-type moves would not be nearly as effective because it would have been because the Dragon-type moves would have been classed as special attacks, and Garchomp's special attack stat is not great. It's not horrible, but it's really not great. When you compare it to other Pokemon that are really meant to be like strong special attackers, Garchomp is not that. However, in terms of straight up physical attack, Garchomp will kick your back in. Straight up. So, Garchomp, with its Gen 4 moveset under Gen 3 rules, ground type moves would have been really great on it, but other stuff would have been kind of like Dragon type moves would have been kind of wet, right? However, Garchomp under Gen 4 rules means that you literally do not have to load it with anything that runs off its special stat. Not even a little bit. Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Earthquake. Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Earthquake. And then whatever other move you want for the fourth one. It's a done deal. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, and I say that because Earthquake runs off of physical damage. Dragon Claw, physical damage. If you really wanted to be like that motherfucker, swap out Dragon Claw for Outrage and make sure that Garchomp can eat a berry that will cure confusion when it uses Outrage. Congratulations, you have now absolutely fucked up most of what will come your way. Garchomp with Dragon Dance means that it will just go fast and it will fuck your shit up, and it's steroiding its attack stat the entire time. Right? I need to go pick up Bellsprout. I forgot about Bellsprout. Fuck me. So that's what Stubby means when he says it's the first pseudo-legendary that can dump stat attacking type. You do not need to give a shit about special attack with Garchomp, because you can literally load it up with moves that run off the physical stat, and it's a done deal, right? Like, I guess you could like Metal Claw or something for coverage against ice types if you felt like it. If there's any other like steel type moves or any steel type or fire type moves that Garchomp could learn for coverage against ice types, and that's a done deal. Like, you're just gonna fuck it up. It doesn't, and I mean that in the sense of if you're using Garchomp, you will fuck somebody up. And Garchomp is basically the embodiment of what then happens to Dragon types in Gen 5, where it's like, oh god, these motherfuckers will just ruin your day. Right? It's a snowball. Because Gen 3 is when you sort of start to see some of that. Gen 3 is where you start to see some of that because the move pool is just about at stability at that point. And even without the physical special split, right, the likes of Dragonite is still strong enough to make use of that much better move pool, right? So is Kingdra, by the way. But neither here nor there. Salamence also, right? So that's why Gen 3 is like the point at which it stabilizes. Gen 4 with Garchomp is where it starts to get like scary. And then Gen 5 is just the, oh no, these motherfuckers are too strong now. To be entirely clear about that, right? The reason why we say this especially is because if Gen 4, by giving us Garchomp, gave us a physical sweeper that would absolutely ruin people's shit, Gen 5. Hydreigon is quite possibly... That Pokemon is really fucked up. I don't know how else to emphasize and describe it aside from Hydreigon is fucked up. Because Hydreigon is basically what you would get if you took Garchomp and turned it into a special sweeper. And that is not counting the fact that of the legendaries that are available in Gen 5, literally both box legendaries and the hidden legendary in Gen 5 are all dragon types. Like, I do not know how to emphasize to y'all that literally special sweeper is what I call my top maid. It always makes her blush. But yeah, so by the time we hit Gen 5, that's why dragon types are like, oh god, this is way too fucked up. I got Zap Cannon. Okay, so the most important thing is that now that we have successfully restored the power plant back to operation, we now have the ability to travel freely between Kanto and Johto by going back to Saffron City and taking the Magnet Train. The Magnet Train does not run on a schedule, unlike the... Oh yeah, we also have the... That's true. The hills are now alive with the sound of music. Let's go. We're gonna go get that, and I'll show you all the Magnet Train, and then we're out. Because it's about that time. So yeah, Gen 5 is basically like the crystallization point of what happens when it's like, oh god, the likes of Garchomp is now... The likes of Garchomp is now even like now you have like Hydreigon to take advantage of that. I want to say that dragon types themselves have become more common even with normal Pokemon by Gen 5. Not exceedingly so, but enough so that it's like, if you play your cards right, it's not as difficult to get one. Like in Gen 3, for example. In Gen 3, aside from like Rayquaza, you had Flygon, which is relatively easier to get a hold of than Salamence. Right? Gen 4, Gible, Gabite, Garchomp. Altaria in Gen 3 also is. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, basically by the time we hit Gen 5, both in terms of typing availability as well as just moveset stability, we had enough dragon types that like all the little changes that had been building up from Gen 1 to 2 and then from 2 into 3, we hit like peak critical mass of that by Gen 5. So there are people out there who have their feelings about the fairy type. To these people, I can only say this. Fairy types are literally the only way that Pokemon would have made it past Gen 6. I'm gonna be real. And I don't mean that in terms of like, oh, the game's gonna stop selling so well, but literally with the way that if it does, to no one's surprise, I also wrote an article about this at one point. I wrote an article about this at one point on my Medium, and it's still there. But literally by the time that we got around to well, come on in, Woobert do. By the time we got around to I can only tour the ground floor because the Johto's Radio Tower. Okay, that's fair. But we can, I think, get the expansion card. I picked Totodile. The only good choice, to be fair. I like Typhlosion a lot. Typhlosion, my beloved. Lava's also really cute. Anyway, the fairy type adds a fresh element in Pokemon World as well. Yeah. Right. Let me finish the thing I was saying. Because the main thing is that, basically speaking, at least from my perspective, it's one of those things where it's like, either they would have had to figure out a way to, like, there are two options. Either they would have had to statistically nerf dragon types retroactively, and from my general understanding of the way that, like, Game Freak likes to operate, base stat totals never drop between generations, they only go up. So whenever Game Freak wants to buff a particular Pokemon or line of Pokemon, and they don't want to do a type change, they will usually boost the base stat total of that Pokemon. They never reduce it. So, literally, they would have either had to, like, except for Aegislash. Thank you, Stubby. I appreciate you. That's true. Aegislash did get its BST recalculated lower. I forgot about it. You're correct. But in most cases, Game Freak does not like to recalculate BSTs lower in order to compensate for a Pokemon being too strong. They generally do not like to do that. Aegislash is literally an exception because of some wild bullshit with the way that its ability works, and we're not getting into it. So literally, I don't even think Aegislash had been around yet. No, that's a lie. Because Aegislash was in Gen 5. I was never a fairy type hater because I thought the type was introduced well. A lot of the Pokemon of that type are creatively well done, and most of the types moves slap. Yeah. So, literally, fairy type was the only other option that they would have had aside from nerfing BSTs. And at the time, to my knowledge, they hadn't yet done that to Aegislash, so it wasn't a thing that they were thinking about, I don't think. So, the important thing about the fairy type, though, is that not only did fairy types were introduced in Gen 6. Yeah. Damn it, Stubby, you're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me, damn it. But yeah, the thing about fairy types being introduced is that I like water because Sabo's adorable. Fair. Oh, right, shit. I forgot I needed to pass. It's something of the copycat. Hold on. I got it. Just give me a second. She recently lost a Pokédoll that a boy gave her 3 years ago. Ever since then, she's gotten even better at mimicry. Oh, right, I have to go get... Is the doll in Celadon or Saffron? I don't remember. Fuck. Right. Let me finish my line of thought. So, fairy types being introduced not only, like, literally gave tools for shutting down dragon types, it also revitalized a couple of Pokemon who kind of fell off. Like, I need y'all to understand that huge power Azumarill with Play Rough is quite possibly the most frightening thing that any dragon-type Pokemon will ever see, ever. Ever. That's not a joke. Azumarill, huge power, Play Rough, any stat or any ability, any nature that boosts its attack, you'll absolutely fucking kick a dragon type in the dick with Play Rough in Gen 6. It's great. It's great. But, to Stubby's point as well, Steel and Poison benefited greatly from that, because Fairy type then gained Poison and Steel as weaknesses. And then Dragon type also lost its. I think Dragon type lost. I think Dragon type and Steel type, an interaction changed between the two of them. I don't remember what it was. Dragon type and Steel type had an interaction change between them, and I don't remember what it was. Let's see. Some would say Clefable has the face of no mercy. Also true, right? But yeah, right? Fairy types wound up like giving Pokemon that form of fresh air, and in general was like just really, really great. But I will say that the introduction of Fairy type, there is one hilarious side effect that it had that none of us were really prepared for, that I still think is the funniest shit aside from huge power Azumarill. Mawile. Mawile went from being like, oh, it's kind of cute and a little interesting to, Jesus fuck, this thing is a monster. Because, let me emphasize something. I don't think Mawile had a subtype when it was introduced in Gen 3. I don't think it did. I could be wrong about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mawile, I believe, had no subtype. There's like just a Steel type Pokemon in Gen 3 when it's introduced. All well and good. By Gen 6, it gets reclassified as Fairy Steel. Let me say that. So not even talking about Mega Mawile yet, because Mega Mawile is fucked up. But regular ass Mawile is a Fairy Steel type. Let us be emphatic here. Mawile is literally a combination of two of the types that are effectively dragon killers. Well, let me phrase that differently. Sorry, I phrased that wrong. Back this up. Mawile, when it gets reclassified as a Fairy Steel type in Gen 6, becomes a combination of a dragon killer and a fairy killer at the same time. And that was a decision that Game Freak sure made. Because, let me emphasize this, it is a Fairy and Steel type. Fairy types do not just resist dragon types. No, it's not a resistance. Fairy types are flat out immune to dragon type attacks and take double damage from Steel types. And yet Mawile, even before going Mega, Mawile is a Fairy Steel type. Do you understand how fucked up that is? Also, it's very much a physical attack. It's very much a physical attacker. Mawile literally... Yeah, Fairy Steel is a combo that nullifies Fairy's weaknesses and also steals fighting weakness. Exactly. Fairy Steel is quite literally one of the most fucked up typings in Pokemon. It is. This is why Klefki's such a pain in the ass. That's why Klefki's such a pain in the ass. Because it's like... and why Tinkaton is so fucked up. Mawile is bad again after losing the Mega Evolution, but Pokemon ZA is coming out, so... Yeah, and that's the thing, right? I wouldn't even say that Mawile became bad after losing the Mega Evolution. It's just that its positioning became more niche. But given the fact that, like, even without having a Mega Evolution's, like, stat boosts and all that other shit, that it's still a Fairy Steel type. Like, that's fucking scary. Hi, did you really lose your Pokédoll? You really give me a rail pass if I find it for you? Sure, I'll look for it. You think you lost it when you were in Vermilion? I shouldn't decide what you should do, but I'm really worried. Oh, okay, right. Fuck, you can't buy it. You have to go. Dick. All right. Silly me. I'm so fucking silly. Of course, she would want exactly the one that she got before. I fucking forgot about that. Ah, that's the interaction that changed. Steel types also stopped being resistant to Dragon type moves in Gen 6. They changed that. Probably because, not that it would have mattered for Mawile anyway, but like... okay. Hang on. Sorry. Thank you, Stubby. Thank you, Shiny. I'm full of shit, and I appreciate you both correcting me. Thank you. Steel lost their resistance to Dark and Ghost. Right. That's what it was. That still had a reason, because Steel types becoming the hard check the fairy means that they had to lose those two, or it would have been really fucked up. It would have been really, really bad. Where it's hard to know each type's... Yeah, I used to be a lot better at it. I'm a little off now. Having to recheck the integrity of my MH Wilds install because it keeps doing weird freezing nonsense. Favorite Rapidash? Yes. No, Rapidash is pretty good. I like it too. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Cool, I got another rare candy. That's nice. But yeah, basically the reason why Steel type lost those two resistances, the reason why the Steel type lost those resistances is because Steel type is now the new big gun because of fairy type stuff. Shan, shut up. You're saying that just to start trouble. Alright, cool, we got the Magnet Chain Pass. Thank you for the Rail Pass. Pardon? Is it really that fun to copy what I say and do? You bet. It's a scream. Anyway, so yeah, that's why that had to happen. But literally, if it wasn't for them doing that, Pokemon, I don't know if it would have lasted. They had to. They had to, because the alternative was shooting dragon types. And it's like that. That was no bueno. So yeah, the reason why the Magnet Train matters so much... The reason why the Magnet Train matters so much in Gold, Silver, Crystal is because in Gold, Silver, and Crystal specifically, they fixed this in Heart Gold and Soul Silver to my knowledge. I think anyway. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can use the Indigo Plateau as a traversal point between Kanto and Johto. You cannot do that directly in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. The only ways to get back to Kanto and Johto is to go between them, rather. Either you have to go back to where you sailed over, where you surfed over, and go over the Tojo Falls again. You have to either go over the Tojo Falls again. There's a person who will teleport you back at the Indigo Plateau, but I don't know if they're still there after you beat the Elite Four the first time. I think they are, but I don't remember. The SS Aqua, which does not run every day, or the Magnet Train, which has no such limitations and will take you between Kanto and Johto whenever you want. So basically, like, getting the Magnet Train up and running again is the most convenient way in Gold, Silver, and Crystal to be able to actually get between the two. I believe that Heart Gold and Soul Silver will just let you directly fly between Kanto and Johto as you wish. If it doesn't, then you still need the Magnet Train there, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, I think we've done just about everything that we can insofar as like stuff I wanted to get done today for Pokemon, so we're gonna call that there. Thank you for all the information. Hush. 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 Alright, yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming by. Okay, let me figure out who we're gonna go see. I'm gonna go see if we have anybody set up in the back room. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Streams this week: Wednesday, game dev stuff, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Fridays, Fighting Friday stuff, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Sunday is more Pokemon Crystal stuff. We will start on time next Sunday, ideally. That's the plan. Give me 1 second. I need to just one. Alright. Alright, we're gonna go see J-Rock. Because J-Rock is currently playing some South of Midnight. Thank you for the stream yesterday. It was really nice spending the morning with y'all. Yeah, it was good to hang out. Good to have you around me soon. So we're gonna go hang out with J-Rock, but before I do that, let me run my usual set of stuff. So, game analysis, design articles are up on my NeoCities blog. If you want to read the Pokemon articles that I wrote about Gen 1 and Gen 6, go to my Medium page. YouTube, stream VODs, Ko-Fi support me in the stream without giving money to Amazon and Jeff Bezos. If you want to support, I prefer Ko-Fi. I get that money more immediately, especially on monthly, rather than having to wait for a payout threshold like I do with Twitch. Patreon. Wait, no, Patreon is for Munity. I'm getting ahead of myself. Lol. My Throne, if you want to gift gifts anonymously to me, Throne is the spot where you can do that. And Card has my other social media links. I'm mostly active on Blue Sky these days. Munity is the game dev studio that I helped co-found. We run it as a democratically led organization. And we are working on our first game right now. If you want to know more about that, go over to Munity. That's community without the COM. Munity.games. You can join our Patreon, either free or paid. Doesn't matter which one, whichever you feel more comfortable with. And then you can play Shootlander itself over on our itch page. And then Gilded, if you don't mind making a Roblox account, and using it for basically nothing, aside from like joining the Gilded, you can join us on Gilded. We prefer Gilded over Discord just because Discord like makes you pay for a bunch of stuff that Gilded doesn't. So I prefer Gilded as a result. But if you don't want to have to do that, I completely understand. Do what you feel. That's pretty much all I got. Oh yeah, Discord also does like bullshit with AI and is also doing other bullshit with they're also starting to like do things where like, hey, we send advertisements into your Discord. Lol. Fun, right? Not fun. Anyway. Yeah, so thank y'all for coming by. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear masks, don't go outside if you don't have to. Be excellent. Not to bigots, racist, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, reproductive rights are human rights. And by that, I mean that, people who can get pregnant are the people who should be able to decide, like, what they do with their bodies. To be clear, when I say that, like, reproductive rights are human rights, that's the sort of thing I mean. Like, it is the business of people who can get pregnant, how they conduct their bodies. Nobody else's. When we go over to J-Rock, give him an SJH does raids. I don't know who sent you. That's the raid message. Throw in your favorite emotes. They don't have to be my emotes. Use whatever emotes you want. And then last but not least, do what you can to take care of the people that are like around you. This is, if you live in the United States, I should preface this. This is true everywhere, but if you live in the United States, you already know what the deal is right now. There's a lot going on. A lot of things are happening. Yeah, that's why we're going to J-Rock, because he's playing South at Midnight. And you know me, I love to bother black people because I support the homies and the homettes and the damies. You know, you feel me? So Anyway, I say all that to say, support who you can support, right? Support who you can support. Do what you can to look out for them. You can't, even if you can't change the whole world or go out and do something big, just doing what you can for the people who are around you is enough. So, thank y'all. Let's go hang out with J-Rock. I'll see you when I see you. Enjoy South at Midnight. I'll be lurking with y'all for a bit. Alright, y'all. All I got. Deuces.